You share 1/3 of your DNA with a tomato. I know, that sounds ridiculous, but it's true. And here's the even crazier part. Every living thing on Earth, from bacteria to blue whales, uses the exact same four-letter genetic alphabet, A, T, C, and G. It's like discovering that every book ever written, in every language, throughout all of history, was somehow written using the same four symbols. But here's the question that kept me up last night. Was this the only way life could have worked? Turns out, the answer is no. And what scientists have discovered about alternative forms of life is going to blow your mind. So let's start with something most people don't realize. Every living thing on this planet is essentially running the same software. These four chemical letters, adenine, thymine, cytosine, and guanine, combine in groups of 3 to create what we call codons. 64 different combinations, but they only code for 20 different amino acids. Think of it like this. Imagine if every computer program ever written, from your smartphone apps to NASA's rocket systems, all used the same basic programming language. That's essentially what happened with life on Earth. Evolution picked these 4 letters billions of years ago, and nothing has deviated from the system since. Now, when I first learned this, my immediate thought was, this can't be the only way to build life, right? And it turns out I wasn't alone in wondering that.
In the last 20 years, scientists have been playing genetic God, and the results are fascinating. They've created something called XNA, which stands for xenonucleic acids, basically meaning foreign genetic material. These XNAs can do everything DNA can do. They store information, they copy themselves, and some can even act as biological machines called enzymes. But here's the kicker. They use completely different building blocks. There's HNA, which uses a different type of sugar that makes the whole molecule more flexible. TNA uses an even simpler sugar that some scientists think might have been more likely to form on early Earth than our DNA. And then there's PNA, which throws out DNA's entire backbone structure and replaces it with something completely different. But the real game changer happened in 2019. A NASA-backed team created what they call Hachimoji DNA, which means 8 characters in Japanese. They took our normal ATCG alphabet and added 4 new letters, Z, P, S, and B. This 8-letter DNA can form the same double helix structure as ours. It can copy itself reliably, and theoretically, it could be the foundation for entirely different forms of life. Now you might be thinking, okay, cool lab experiment, but so what? Well, this completely changes how we think about life in the universe. If our DNA system isn't the only game in town, then life on other planets might look nothing like what we're expecting. We've been searching for carbon-based life that uses our genetic system, but there could be entire biospheres out there using completely different molecular alphabets. Imagine alien life forms that use silicon instead of carbon, or genetic systems with 12 letters instead of 4. The possibilities become almost infinite. But here's where I want to be honest with you. While this research is absolutely groundbreaking, we're still talking about laboratory conditions. Creating self-replicating systems that can evolve and adapt in the real world is incredibly complex. Just because we can make these alternative genetic systems work in test tubes doesn't mean they could compete with billions of years of evolutionary refinement.
This brings us to probably the most mind-bending question. How did life pick these specific 4 letters in the first place? John Sutherland's research in 2019 showed that the building blocks of DNA and RNA could form naturally from just water, phosphate, some simple chemicals, and UV light.
No living systems required. Early Earth had all of these ingredients in abundance: intense sunlight, lightning, volcanic activity, and the right chemical soup. The RNA world hypothesis suggests that before DNA, there was RNA doing all the heavy lifting. RNA could store information and copy itself. Imagine a system that's both a book and the printing press that reproduces it. Eventually, DNA evolved as a more stable storage system, but RNA got there first. When I think about this, it's like winning the most complex lottery in the universe. The right chemicals had to be in the right place with the right amount of energy at the right time. And yet, given the scale of early Earth and millions of years of chemical reactions, maybe it was inevitable. Here's what really gets me thinking. If life had started over tomorrow, would we get the same four-letter system? Probably not. Our DNA system won not because it was perfect, but because it got there first and was good enough to survive. If you liked this video, don't forget to hit the like button, comment with your thoughts on alien genetic systems, and subscribe to the channel for more mind-bending science content. This research isn't just academic curiosity. Understanding alternative genetic systems could revolutionize biotechnology, help us create new materials, develop better drugs, and maybe even help us recognize life on other worlds when we find it. But perhaps most importantly, it reminds us that life as we know it isn't the only way life could work. We're not the inevitable result of cosmic laws. We're one beautiful accident among countless possibilities. The fact that those first four molecules managed to find each other, copy themselves, and eventually create everything from bacteria to Shakespeare, well, that's still pretty extraordinary, even if it wasn't the only way things could have turned out. And honestly, that makes existence feel even more remarkable to me. We're not just unique because we're alive. We're unique because we represent one specific solution to the puzzle of life among potentially infinite alternatives.